Welcome to Smashing Heads Podcast. This is your host, Jake. I'm here with not my wife, Hannah.
Hey.
And my soon-to-be best friend, Zach.
Hey, how's everybody doing tonight?
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Good job, everyone. Good job. I feel like we really threw everyone for a whirl there.
I like that you were the only one that clapped.
Also, I like that I started the music and then I was like, oh, hey, do you want an intro? So it worked out fine, I think.
You didn't ask me if I wanted to intro.
Well, maybe next week.
Maybe next week.
Well, Shane did say that I should be the one to take over.
He did
one
say
night.
not to give you, Jake, specifically any control.
Well, you know what? Shane's not here this week. So,
he was here this
He's
week.
going to be tuning in.
well,
He will be. Shout out Shane. Speaking of,
here we go.
if you have not listened to the interviews that we put up this past week or last week's episode, just to recap, we interviewed Shane, who was great. All three of us were here for that one. Earlier in the week, though, we had a surprise interview with Cam Williams.
Killer Cam.
The Queen Cam.
Hannah was not involved in that one because she was
still
sick.
really sick.
Yeah. So we had 3 episodes go up this last week, which is a lot. I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of tired at the end of last week.
We're not going to do any more interviews for a couple weeks. We
You were
need a
tired.
break.
Yeah, because I edited it.
I don't know. You looked pretty spry that Friday night we were in here.
Yeah, I mean, again, they were fun to do. They were really fun to do, but it's just we don't use. It's 3 times the amount of work essentially, and so
Would you say you felt spry?
I felt spry. Yeah,
'Cause you looked it.
yeah, I know. That's what I'm known for.
Jake, I couldn't figure out what word you were saying.
You never heard spry?
No, it was the way you were saying it.
It's if you try to say sprite.
Sprite. Yeah, my cousin can't say Sprite. He says Sprite. I want some Sprite.
But it's spelled S-P-R-Y, right? Spry?
The drink?
No,
Oh.
just the word.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I don't know if I've ever written it, honestly. I don't know how it could be spelled any other way.
S-P-R-I-E?
That's not right.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, if you haven't listened to the interviews that we've done this past week, or any of the old ones, Brandon Nelson, Marie Rhoda, they're great. Still getting a lot of downloads on all those. People want to hear from them. So,
And we're honored to have them on.
yeah, it's awesome.
That they wanted to come on and talk to us is pretty stinking neat.
And Hannah mentioned that we're not going to do any for a few more weeks. I'm not going to commit to that because we have some other things that are in the works. They just haven't worked. We haven't scheduled any for sure.
But we did need a break after.
Yeah, I'm not doing any
after
this
last
week. Yeah, we're not doing any this week specifically.
Well, that was the thing. I was planning for not doing any this week and not doing any next week.
Well, I'm not going to commit to that.
The only 2 nights that we can record next week in-interviews, I'm working anyway.
So
You don't listen to the ones that you're not in anyway.
that's true.
Have you listened to the Cam interview yet?
Oh my gosh.
I could tell you no, and it could be a lie.
Y-
There's no way for you to know.
Yes, there is. We could ask you anything from the interview and you wouldn't know it.
Is your body full of lies?
Yeah.
This is bizarre.
No, my body is full of Dr. Pepper and pomegranate and blood orange San Pellegrino.
So if Shane, Marie, Brandon, Cam, any of them, give us a call, DM us, and say, "Hey, let me come on with you guys this week."
Oh yeah.
We're not going to say no.
I just want to make sure because
No, and we have other people that we've been in contact with that we're not announcing it because we don't have anything locked down.
It's just that we're not planning it.
I'm planning things. I don't know what you're at in this whole situation, but I'm planning
We're
on
not
some of them.
planning it this week. Or
Not this week.
Not necessarily planning it for next week.
I
either.
might plan something next week. Who
I'm
knows?
working
you know
a
what?
lot
You know
next
what,
week.
Han? I think
I won't be able to be here.
I think if anyone deserves a rest, it's you. Because after some of the things you said last week,
We did have somebody on Reddit that commented about all that.
Really? What did it say?
Jake, talk for a minute and I'll pull it up.
well, I think I meant to do a Twitter poll or something because I really wanted to get everybody's opinion on Josh being women's gift to the earth. And
I did say that, didn't I?
you did, and then you made a thing of giving the back of your hand to someone, but not in a physical way.
What?
You did. You said that Johnny gave.
You said he gave Angela the back of his hand.
No, Natalie.
Natalie,
He gave
yeah,
Natalie the
Natalie.
back of his
Yeah.
hand, and then Zach had to clarify that Johnny did not commit any sort of physical assault or anything. And so I think if anyone deserves a rest, it's you.
I really don't remember last week.
What your performance last week was Michael Jordan flu game-esque. That's what it was.
Do you get that reference?
No, what?
Yeah.
Okay? Because let's be real. You are probably everyone's favorite on this podcast. MJ was clearly the favorite and the great of the Chicago Bulls teams.
I knew you said Michael Jordan already, but then you said MJ, and I started thinking back to
Magic
the one.
Johnson?
No, the one from the challenge.
Our guy MJ from Nashville.
Yeah, but he sucked at the challenges.
But
Landon clearly was the better out of that real world season. Karamo was even better out of that real world season.
He was a bad guy, though.
Well, now he's really famous.
Yeah.
So anyway, where were you going with that?
Yeah, no. You were MJ to Zach's Rodman and my Pippen last week.
I'm Rodman.
Yeah.
I'll take it. I like playing the post.
Yeah.
You should get a bunch of piercings.
And marry Carmen Electra and do all.
I can dress up like Carmen Electra.
All right, so I found it. It took me a while.
I don't know what she looks like.
How do you
She's
know?
pretty.
What? You don't know what she looks like?
No, I can't think of it off the top of my head.
She dated Dave Navarro from Ink Master for a long time, or they're married.
Charlie Sheen?
Did you ever see Good Burger?
Yeah, when I was like 7.
Well, she wanted to date Kel.
She did. They went to play putt-putt golf.
And then he threw her on the floor.
And hit her in the head with a golf ball.
Anyway.
Great movie.
On Twitter, not Twitter, but Reddit, somebody, I don't know how to say his name, but also note, you guys making fun of Hannah being sick and her having no filter that day was hilarious. Salute. And then they did a clapping and then
I didn't realize I didn't have a filter last week.
Well, you just were saying.
I don't remember. I've said this already in the last 7 minutes. I don't remember anything from last week.
Well, you're acting like you were on a bunch of psychotropic drugs or something.
Well, I was on a lot of medication.
You were on Dayquil and Flonase.
I had taken a lot of other stuff that day.
It's like I said, we by no means want you to stay sick, but I feel like last week may have been our best recap episode.
It might have been. I will say it does help having
someone
really
sick.
Well, no, I was gonna say really good episodes to talk about. It does help.
Yeah. So thank you to Shane one last time for giving us a good episode.
He's gonna not like this intro to this episode.
But I bet he's still here.
Yeah.
You know what? It's because you let Jake do all this.
Yeah. What?
He's literally said, Jake, not you.
I shouldn't have said Jake take over while I looked for that Reddit comment, because then we went off the rails and he started talking about MJ and she started thinking it was Magic Johnson.
When you say MJ in basketball, I'm going to think Magic Johnson.
That is the worst thing you could,
I did not grow up watching basketball.
You didn't grow up watching Magic Johnson either.
Yeah, but I knew that name.
You didn't
know Michael Jordan? What are you talking about? Magic Johnson was 15 years before that.
Oh, my word.
Oh, my God, leave me alone.
Magic Johnson wasn't in Space Jam.
Michael is the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
Don't come at me, LeBron stans.
Yeah,
Michael
I'm
is the
here
greatest of all time.
Yeah.
You guys are on a first name basis?
Apparently you and Magic Johnson are.
We've known each other since I was about 4, okay? I sat in front of the TV and watched this guy.
So anyway, did you guys see Kayla dyed her hair this week?
Again?
Yeah.
Blue again? She must really like that color.
I had a couple quick little things.
Blue like the night sky, not the day sky.
The night sky is black.
It's getting dark.
This episode is off the rails already.
No, when it's at sunset, the sky turns colors and it turns like orange and purple and red.
It's like
you know what? I let you intro the show, and it's just.
All right, let me just say this: her hair is like when the moon is at 85% mass.
85%.
So there's still.
What are you
blue.
talking about?
Oh my God,
the moon doesn't shrink. It doesn't lose mass.
No, but it has to. It rises in the west and it sets in the east, right? No.
Oh
it rises in the east and sets in the west.
This is the dumbest thing we've ever talked about.
Are you sure you're not talking about the sun?
Yeah, that's right. The sun.
No!
It rises in the east.
You just said the moon loses 15% of its mass for some reason.
No, I'm talking about as it's rising to its highest point.
Yeah, it stays the same. It doesn't. It doesn't change shape.
Her hair.
Where am I?
Is the color that it would be at about 7:30 here.
Oh, good. That's a great analogy.
Central time.
Central time. Not Eastern.
Let's talk about the challenge.
So anyway, she dyed her hair. I'm just gonna speed through this.
Hey, didn't she also get fired off of Lindsay Lohan?
I wasn't there yet. She dyed her hair. A lot of people got mad, said she copied Cara, which is dumb because she's dyed her hair before.
She's dyed it blue before.
Exactly. Cara doesn't own. If she would have done pirate dreads and all that, that's one thing. Anyway, thanks for jumping in, even though we knew what we were going to talk about.
Listen, I'm a part of this podcast too.
I know, but we said what we were going to talk about up top.
Yeah, but you said you're just going to go through it, so I'm trying to get through it really quick.
Okay, well, she got fired from the Lindsay Lohan show that she's been on for 2 weeks.
I want to know why. What'd she do to get fired? Because she had literally just gotten on, changed all of her like social media bios, took MTV The Challenge off, and just had Lindsay Lohan's thing. And then I checked it the other day, and she had changed it and added the challenge back on there, along with Lindsay Lohan's beach house
did you guys know that Cara might be pregnant? She's not. We did have someone message us about that, and that was a rumor. That was a legit rumor for about 6 hours.
I was thinking like 30 minutes.
I feel like I saw something where she was talking about how like she doesn't want to ever like have kids.
She said she doesn't want to have kids.
So if she was pregnant,
she said, "Is it an IUD? Is that what you put inside you to not have kids?" She said that was like the best thing she's ever done. And
is that the thing that goes in where the baby comes out, or is that the thing you put in your arm?
I don't know why we're trying to like act like we know anything about scientific stuff tonight.
I don't know. I didn't know this thing existed that you could swallow something and it.
You don't swallow it. Oh my god. It's things that they. You know what? We're just gonna skip past it.
Let me ask you.
How do you think that you could swallow something and it would stop you from having babies? And now I guess birth control does that. Like the pill does that. It changes your hormones, but
I started crying.
Can I open the show more often? This is new for us. This is new territory for us because we have completely lost control of this knot.
Shane called it. He's like, don't let him do anything.
Here's what I want to ask you guys.
You know that implant you swallow that keeps you from having babies?
It honestly, it looks like a piece that would come off of an operation set. Like it looks, the game Operation, like the little bones you pull out of them.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of that game.
Well, it looks like that, but you like insert it. You make that noise whenever it goes in, and then you don't have kids anymore. And she's a big fan of that. Cara's on record that she loves sounds, and she's not pregnant. She just wants to work out more because she says she's been eating like crap. So that rumor's dispelled.
Oh gosh, man! I feel like we need to breathe for just a second.
I almost choked in my water.
All right, so who wants to talk about the show tonight?
Well, we didn't. Did we greet our new listeners?
No. Again, you threw me so off. I didn't even read half my notes.
New listeners, all right, real fast. Hey, we're a lot of fun.
This is very.
I don't normally open the show, but I think it's a hit already.
This is the first time we've ever let Jake open the show. After the last time we got together, Shane said that we need to mix things up and let somebody else host, and then he said, Jake, you cannot do it. Mm-hmm. And so really that meant I could be the only other person that could host the show, because I would keep us in check, keep us in order. And so Zachary obviously just threw that out of his mind and decided he would let Jake open the show today, and here we are.
So if you want to be upset with anybody, be upset with Shane, because he said I couldn't do it and I wanted to prove him wrong.
So if you're a new listener, we do weekly recap shows. Also, we'll do our plugs at the end of the show because we're already behind now. So
this is a hot mess tonight.
Whew, it's fun though.
All right, so
I'm sweating a lot.
Tonight's episode. How do you want to start that?
I was sitting at the edge of my seat, about to fall out of it.
This is great.
So
I thought tonight was a very solid episode.
It was a good episode.
It was good.
I felt like there was a lot of stuff happening.
Marie told us that the rest of the season would not be a letdown.
That's true.
And boy, was she right. The last 2 weeks have just been packed.
3 weeks.
That's right. The last 3 weeks have been packed.
I appreciate, Shane's. I'm going to say it's his new mantra. Shane work makes the dream work.
Did he say that?
He did after
I don't remember
TJ
that.
brought in all sorts of treats and drinks to celebrate the challenger's efforts.
I remember. Yeah, I remember.
Which was,
I don't remember that.
He did a
which
toast.
TJ's living up to his sweetheart, just self, and what we know of him.
You know what I did learn about him this week?
What's that?
That he does those cameo things. Mm-hmm. He charges a lot. It's like $80 for him.
Good Lord.
Yeah, but what he did was he filmed them the whole time he was in South Africa, and then he donated all the money to like charities in South Africa, and then added like more money from himself personally on top of it.
What an incredible person.
Can he be any more swell of a guy?
Can he run for president?
Shout out to I didn't listen to it yet, but I heard it from the Hendrick Files, and so I saw somebody talking about it. I meant to listen to that interview. I just haven't had time this week.
He's amazing.
So. Yeah, so that's all. It was like $8,000 he donated.
Wow.
Yeah. So while we're running through just some of the smaller things that happened throughout the house tonight, the main house, that is, Ashley doesn't want Cara to find out about her and Kyle, but doesn't the whole house already kind of know?
Well,
There was like
Ashley-
11 people in that room.
Ashley
when they,
doesn't want anyone to know in the house, especially Cara.
She
that
says she
and Kyle
immediately
hooked up.
regrets it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she did. Which I haven't heard anybody else that has hooked up with Kyle express regret.
Well, he ruined Cara's life.
He did. I don't think she regrets it though. I think she'd go back to him in a heartbeat.
I think so.
We'll
I think
see.
she's in love with him. I said that
But
a
we're
few
not going to
episodes
go
ago.
down that rabbit hole.
We're not
again.
going down there.
Ashley doesn't want anybody to know. I think partially because she did lie to Hunter's face about it.
Also, it was literally her first night in the house.
It was her first night in the house. I don't think she really cares about that. I do think she cares about Cara finding out as well, because I think that she thinks that'll just put a target on her back from Cara. But Cara and Marie, we have seen in the last couple weeks, have been really...
They're lower down on the pecking order than what you would expect.
Yeah,
No-
they're
no-
really
a lot
low.
of big names.
No
are.
disrespect to them, but they just are.
It's
Yeah.
just that there are other and more alliances that are a lot stronger.
Well, the Lavender
Within
ladies
the house?
are going to have to turn on each other at some point. They just are.
At some point, I don't think
They
it
can't all
happens
make the final.
yet.
No, but I'm saying like that's going to be good TV when it
Yeah,
happens.
it will.
But this is the first time that like you're seeing some of these bigger names be overwhelmed numbers wise.
Bananas was
yeah.
like at the club trying to like scheme with Davon and Jozea, who are like the bottom
Yeah.
team.
Yeah, if this was like 3 or 4 seasons ago, he would just be goofing around.
Speaking of, Paul emailed us today. I
Good
haven't,
old stat checker Paul.
yeah, I haven't read you guys this yet, because he emailed us right before the episode aired, and he said that this is the longest period that Bananas has gone without making a finals.
I believe that.
Really?
Yeah. Let me see if
How long has it been?
Rivals 3.
Let me see.
No way. Was it really Rivals 3?
Johnny hasn't won in 3 seasons. This would be the 4th if he doesn't win. It doesn't seem so bad, but he hasn't even made a final. This is the longest he's ever gone without winning a season. The longest he's ever gone was 3 seasons, his first 3. Since then, he's not been this long.
I told you guys.
Yeah. It's weird. It kind of puts
He's
it in
on the
perspective.
decline.
But
Well, yeah.
but he is still playing a super smooth game.
He is, but he does not have the numbers
No,
with him.
But
No.
not to jump ahead, but no one voted for them.
Yeah, that's the
tonight.
thing.
No
No.
one.
Yeah.
And so he's
Which is
still,
surprising.
Well, I think that a lot of that has to do with the fact that there's so much other crap going on in the house
They're still
that
a
a lot
strong
of
team,
people
too.
are probably just forgetting about them because they're so caught up in their own fights and vendettas and drama.
But if you're Johnny, that's what you want right now, right?
Yeah, you
Absolutely.
lay low
Absolutely.
and then be strong throughout it. So yeah, as long as they're not anybody's like list to go after,
Yeah.
that's good for them.
But speaking of Davon and Jose, Zach called them a garbage team,
Yeah,
which I think was a little bit harsh to say, considering they've seen.
I didn't have a problem with it.
I mean, I didn't have a problem with it. It's just the fact that how many eliminations have they seen so far?
One
Well, are you sure?
was tonight the second or the third?
I thought tonight was the third.
It may have been
and
the
they've
third.
seen the Redemption House twice. I mean, the fact that they've fought to keep themselves here for this long is a little bit impressive. I wouldn't say they're a garbage team. I think they are a dramatic team.
Yeah, and they're new.
They're causing a lot of ruffled feathers.
Jose said at the top of the show, like the first note I have from tonight's show is he was talking about he wants Shane. It's like, I want to go after Shane and Nelson.
Yeah, because he and Shane have gotten into it separately.
Which makes sense.
Shane and Davon have gotten into it separately, and then Shane
Nelson's
has
just
gotten
like,
into it
no.
with Davon and Jose together.
Yeah, again, it made sense, and then as this episode went on, he went for a big like left turn that nobody expected.
Yeah.
But the only other thing I really had up top before we get into the Redemption House, we did see Johnny and like Davon and them talking in the club trying to strategize. Again, kind of bottom two teams, but Johnny is obviously kind of positioned a little bit better.
Yeah.
But as far as alliances go, they're both kind of like outliers. And he
don't-
put Brad and Kyle in that group, and I think they're definitely a stronger team right now to me.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
But
they're a powerhouse.
The only other thing from that is I just wrote that Amanda doesn't know who the Spice Girls are,
Yeah, so
which is very
Joss
surprising
and Amanda are talking.
because she's like 25.
And so we find out Joss grew up on a farm, and he was the smallest kid in his class.
Which makes sense why he's so
makes
obsessed
sense
with
why he is chiseled to perfection, I guess
He's
you
the
could
women's
say.
gift to the earth.
That's right. You said it. You did. You said it. You're
It-
a woman
it-
too. You would know.
Yeah, okay. Well, he's my gift to the earth.
You
And
are
it
all
makes
women.
sense. And so Amanda's trying to flirt with him, and he's like, he refers to her as a Spice Girl, and her immediate reaction, just split second reaction, was to start getting offended.
I didn't.
Like, no, I saw it in her face. She kind of like pushed her head back, and she was like, "What?" And he's like, "You're like a Spice Girl," and she's like, "What's that? What does that mean?"
that's kind of unbelievable that she doesn't know what. I mean, like
Because she's like close to
she's
my
older than you.
Yeah, she's close to my age. I absolutely knew who the Spice Girls were.
Spice World was a big deal when I was in elementary school.
She has no reason not to know, at least have heard of the Spice Girls, but she's like, what is that?
I was going to ask you if you were offended by that because you actually have a Spice Girls T-shirt that
I do actually.
you wear on the regular.
That's not true. I did.
You used to wear it on the regular.
I wore it in a show we played in high school.
So does that bother you?
No. I got it at Goodwill. I did forget I had that shirt though.
Yeah.
I think I threw it out.
Why do I feel like you wore that recently?
I have not worn that in years, man.
When we moved out of the old house that we rented, I found it in an old laundry basket from college that you had. I found it, and I think I threw it away.
I mean, I bought it when I was like a
Oh,
senior in
Lord.
high school, so it's like
It was ratty and faded.
it was a good shirt though.
Yeah.
I wore it at our band's last show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which my band played at too.
Yeah, I know, but not together.
No, we didn't play together.
Regardless, it was a really gross shirt.
It was a cool shirt.
It
I
was
will
gross.
I will just say real quick. I think Josh and Amanda are super cute.
I do too.
I think they're
Yeah,
adorable.
I'm fine with
I
him
ship
now.
that. They're super cute
They're
together.
adorable. It's like
And he's trying to compliment her, saying
It-
like, because he's from the UK, and so he's like, yeah, I feel like I got my own Spice Girl, and like that would have been so cute if she knew who the Spice Girls
It
were.
does seem
I
more-
can't get over it.
It does seem more legitimate than like it's not just like a physical thing like most other people in the house.
well, that's the thing is like most times when you see these hookups in the house, that's what they are. It's
It's
all
just
this
hookups.
sexually driven stuff, and they're like,
But they're like a couple.
they're like
you haven't seen
legitimately-
anything like that from them.
he did get into
Yeah.
her bed one time.
That's
and
right.
then
That's
has-
right. That's right.
But
But that was when like 4 other guys came in the room too.
But other than that, like they've been like, I think he even said it at one point tonight, like they're just getting to know each other, which I think is, you know what?
She did make a comment, I think right before the Spice Girl thing. She said, you know, when you start dating someone, you don't live together like immediately. But here they kind of do. And so she said for them, this gives them time that they're around each other a lot to really get to know who the other person is. And that's kind of how she found out that he grew up on a farm and got to know all this cool childhood backstory that he has. So I think it's cute. I like it.
we're fans of them.
Great.
Jamanda. Amos.
Those are neither
Nope.
one good names.
Nope. I'd rather have Jamanda.
Jamanda, for some reason, reminds me of Joanna Man.
That's a great movie.
I don't
love
think
that
I don't
movie.
think they can make that movie these days.
It's a good one though.
Yeah. So the next thing we see is the Redemption House.
Yes.
They go to that not for long, but
Apparently, CT feels bad about the way he's treated Veronica.
She's broken him.
yeah,
She has
I mean,
broken him.
his eyes. He was starting to look like Brad a little bit.
He
And-
was.
Yeah, and
She even looked at him. She's like, "What's going on with your eyes? You're starting
Yeah.
to freak me out."
Well, you know, he's made charts. He's found fake mustaches to put on. Like he's kind of been through it a little
he's
bit.
losing
Yeah.
his mind in
Yeah.
the Redemption House.
I do feel like that's what it is. I feel like he's been stranded on an island with Paulie and
Oh,
Natalie.
can you imagine? Yeah,
I
like,
would probably lose my mind too.
CT was like not wanting to be around anybody for the first like 2 weeks, and then he's
now
been
he's
stuck
stuck in
with
a house.
only Paulie
And
Natalie, and then Derek and Tori.
No, it was Paulie, Natalie, and Veronica for a long
No,
time.
no.
And then Tori and Derek came in, and then Faith and Angela.
Okay, man, yeah, he is probably losing his mind a little bit.
So I mean, oh man, I feel for him.
So I will say, they kind of started working things out, and
He's
then
still desperate to get her to work out.
she did
So
work out tonight.
So I think this was him finally breaking down and saying, "Look, I've got to do anything, whatever I can to get her to start working out, to get her in shape, get her ready to go back into the house."
Was that not her out there running with him? Yeah, through the lawn,
Yes.
the lawn chair.
After he
Yeah.
brought her coffee in
Yeah.
bed, he's like, "Look, we're gonna do this your way," and then that's what won her over.
Yeah, they did that, and then the only other real thing I had from the Redemption House is Tori and Derek were like, "We want Jozea and Devon, we want them, and then we want Cara because they both screwed them over."
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my other note for
That kind of set up something for a little bit later, but they felt like they were the ones that caused them to go in.
I do want to say I took note that Veronica has cankles, which I can sympathize with because
I have
had cankles most of my life.
I still have.
I didn't
those.
notice it. I mean,
Yeah.
I will say she had a really cool crew neck sweatshirt on from Road Rules Semester at Sea from like 20 years ago.
So
Because she's been on this show for that long.
Yeah.
I say that to say if you have cankles yourself, represent strong with myself and Veronica, Team Cankles.
I didn't realize. I didn't notice that, but that is something I've struggled with my whole life.
Jake's cankles.
No, my kinkles, and so I used to only wear like
Cowboy boots.
flare jeans,
And
so you
cowboy
couldn't
boots.
tell.
My cankles actually because normally it just looks like
Jake, I gotta cut you off. Shane's not gonna want you to
your
go on
leg.
this.
Your leg connects to your foot. That's what it looks like.
That's a good medical breakdown.
Like
It
my,
goes straight from shin to foot.
yeah, it was like my ankles actually like sunk in.
There's
like
no,
that.
I
there's no
remember.
tapering
Yeah.
I
there.
remember.
So, but we're not here to talk about cankles. It was just something I wanted to make note of.
You
Well,
brought it up.
Sorry, Shane.
To this day, I'm still very self-conscious about mine. So if you ever see me out and about anywhere, please never bring it up.
Hey, be confident. Be
I'm
confident
not.
about your cankles.
I never will be.
So after the Redemption House, the big part was voting.
Yeah.
Everybody's still doing their burn votes on each other where Joss and Sylvia vote for Kyle and Brad. Kyle and Brad vote for Joss and Sylvia.
Yep.
It works out that way until you get to Zach and Amanda, who have the power vote. They have 2 votes to burn. We don't know who they vote for. And then Bananas and Tony. Nobody could figure out where they were going to go. And so it was kind
Again,
of
they don't
really
have any
up in the
alliances
air.
at this point.
Yeah, and so that kind of worked out in their favor.
Oh, it definitely worked out in their favor. No one
Yeah.
voted for him.
So, yeah, again, nobody voted for them. Nobody knew who they were going to vote for. And so, weirdly, it ended up being a 3-way tie for an elimination.
Yeah,
which
which-
I've never seen.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't seen that this season, and it the 3-way tie was Joss and Sylvia, Jozea and Devon, and then what was the other one?
Cam and Kaylee.
Cam and Kaylee, that's right. And
So, because Zach and Amanda had the power vote,
they got to just pick.
they got to choose.
Yeah.
So they chose Jose and Devon,
Which-
who's who they chose beforehand. And since they were the only
Well, and
team,
also they chose him at the whole coffin thing at the very beginning of the show.
But also, because of that, they were the only team that voted for Jozea and Davon. And so Jozea and Davon couldn't obviously go against them in elimination because they were safe. So then Davon and Jozea got to choose who they competed
Which is a new
against.
twist.
And it could have been any of the teams, not just any of the two remaining teams that had been voted for elimination.
Yeah, it was it's weird. It was a weird process Jose went through to determine who he picked. I still don't understand
Davon
it.
kind of set it up like she really was like, well, obviously, we're going to go with, and she really thought Shane was going to come out of his mouth, and it didn't. He said Cam and Kaylee.
I did not expect that to happen. I thought 100% it was going to be Shane. At the same time, I still don't understand Jose's reasoning, and even after the elimination was over, he tried to explain it, and it still didn't make sense.
Well, the thing was, he said Cam and Kaylee. Davon, her eyes got twice as big. She turned around and was like, what? I didn't know he was going to say that.
They've already proven they can win.
Exactly. And he said earlier in the episode, I'm going to go after Shane. And they have both been gunning for Shane this whole time. And so Davon, when it's just the two of them, before they go into elimination, Davon is kind of trying to ask him, hey, why didn't you say Shane? And his answer was...
He didn't have one.
He said, oh, I just want to shake the game up a little bit because nobody expected that. And she's like, but what were you trying to do with that? And he could not come up with anything. It's like he was just spitting just anything he could get out. And none of it made sense. And so what I got out of that was they wanted to say Shane and Nelson because that's who they want to go home. But I really think that Jose thought that they were likely not going to win.
This is what you saw tonight is part of the reason I became not a fan of Jose during Champs vs. Stars.
An
because
unfan.
A lot of the things he did on Champs vs. Stars were just, there wasn't any rhyme or reason to it. Also, he just wasn't good.
Yeah, so let's go back a week ago.
Mm-hmm.
He gets mad at Shane for throwing a challenge. On the Champs vs. Stars reunion, which I haven't watched, I've seen clips from it. He's like, oh yeah, I was throwing challenges this whole time. I was like, it was a game. Okay, that's hypocritical. And which also,
I don't remember him doing that on Champs vs. Stars.
But he said he did that.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
So you just think he sucked at it. And
he definitely did.
Yeah, and so anyway, that happened. And then also, Shane referenced it in the last interview was that he said, oh, I'm going to stomp you with my Louis Vuittons at the reunion. Well, that was the Champs vs. Stars reunion, and that didn't happen. Jose's still been talking about this next reunion, what's going to happen there. I think it's all talk. He's not going to do anything. He wants to be on other TV shows. He's not going to jeopardize that.
So he's got a big bark and no bite.
And look, this podcast puts us in a weird spot, right? Because we have to talk about people.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to come off, again, as if we're attacking this guy, but the fact is like he did a lot of stuff tonight that just didn't make any sense.
No,
and he couldn't give anyone an answer.
No.
And so we're talking about Jose, the competitor, the challenger, not the person.
I want everyone to know, like, we are still going to be a fan-driven podcast, and we're going to give our opinions on things. We're going to, give our opinions on Marie and Shane and all these people we've talked with. If they did something we don't understand, we're not going to just like side with them no matter what. So yeah, we don't want to like.
We are not unbiased.
That's right, isn't it?
Not unbiased would mean we are biased.
We are unbiased.
We are unbiased.
Yeah. Good Lord. Anyway.
I'm still thinking about that swallowing implant.
Anyway, yeah, we want to give our opinions and give legitimately the thoughts we're having as we watch the episodes. And
no, I said that right. We are not unbiased.
You're saying we're
biased.
biased.
We are biased.
No, we are not biased.
No, we are biased.
Oh my gosh.
We have our opinions. We like certain people and we dislike certain people.
Yeah, but I mean, at the same time, okay, we can argue this either way.
We're a little bit biased and we're a little bit unbiased.
We're biased curious. And
this is a fun episode.
So anyway,
so
We gotta get you a cough button or something.
Okay.
You're not even trying to not cough anymore.
No, I can't help it. I've been holding this in for like 10 minutes.
So the thing is like,
It didn't make any sense.
it seems to be this was just purely shock effect. He wanted to shock people.
Yeah.
Because I don't think he had a reason for choosing
Then
Cam.
he should have went after like Brad and Kyle or somebody
the
like
thing
that.
is, honestly, I feel this to my very core. I feel like he did not think that he could say Shane and Nelson's name because he didn't think that they would win the elimination against them. And it would be dumb for him to go after anybody else because most of the other teams have been really good competitors, even Cam and Kaylee.
I will say this elimination tonight was probably the most. It could have been anyone's game.
Yeah.
Because it was so many different factors. It was endurance, and it was physical, and it was mental, and
Well, before they got to choose who they went up against, they didn't get to see how the elimination worked.
they didn't know what
right?
it was.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
They knew there was a tank there and some ropes, but they didn't know
Yeah.
what it was going to be.
I feel like his thought process was probably not entirely clear, but I think for him, he saw, I can choose Shane and Nelson, or I can say one of the other two names that were lit up, that were voted in for elimination. I really
could have
think
said anybody.
I really think that was at the forefront of his brain. And if he didn't think that he could win against Shane and Nelson, he had to choose one of the other two teams, and he's not going to go against Joss.
Well, because Cam's giving you a reason to believe you can beat her.
Yeah, that's what doesn't make any sense.
Not.
Yeah.
Well, it's a girl team.
That's a good joke.
All right, so when I was a kid, I used to. Did you ever like lay on the couch with your head hanging off, like upside down?
Yes, all the
and your
time.
legs up over the top of it.
All the time.
I used to do that at my grandmother's house all the time, and my grandmother.
She'd dip your head in water.
No, but she would tell me the blood's gonna run to your head. I don't think she'd tell me that I was gonna die, but but if your blood runs to your head, like,
That's pretty bad if she's
Yeah.
like, you're going to die.
all right, so you can hang upside down for 45 minutes and be okay.
Well, to be fair, they are going in water, and then they're kind of leveling out a little bit, so...
They were grabbing the edge, and like so that they could actually see the puzzle. And
I will say people do those spine things, where they hook in their feet and they flip upside down. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
They're doing a Hard Knocks. I know you watch that.
Yeah.
They do that, and I don't know if it's 45 minutes, but they test these things, so they got to know the limits of it. Now maybe if you were just upside down, hung, not moving, not going underwater, not like picking yourself up, you might pass out or something.
Yeah.
But they work for 45 minutes. That's a long time.
well, they went for 45 minutes, and then TJ said, "Hey, I'm going to give you guys a 4-minute timer, and whoever."
That was at 41.
No, it was at 44 when he stopped that.
What? He said that. He said
it was almost 45 minutes when he stopped them and said they only got 4 more minutes.
So they were
Because I thought that was
50.
weird. It was almost 50 minutes.
He said you guys at the end. He may have said that, but at the end he said you guys went for 45 minutes.
Can you imagine, like, not only are you hanging upside down, you are in freezing cold weather and in freezing cold water.
Your feet
Yeah.
are bound, and you can't use your feet like you're used to.
I mean,
Do you
eventually,
think the water was like ice water, or do you think it was like
No,
warm water?
it's probably just. Regardless, even if it was warm, I don't think it was.
it ain't gonna stay warm for long.
No, and every time
No.
you come out of the water, you're hitting that wind.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
You saw everyone else was.
They were bundled up.
Yeah. And
so
he-
much that
At one point, Kyle gave Sylvia his jacket.
because she had on all of her gear and
Mm-hmm.
she was still shivering.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the most like.
Brutal.
It was a tough elimination. You can see I wrote tough elimination all capital letters, because it was. It could have been anyone's game because there was it was endurance because they had to be in and out of that water so much, and then the other people were climbing. It was
Memorization.
It was mental because they had to like read underneath and then relay that back to their partner who had to figure out where it went, and then it was also just like physical to an extent. Like it was a lot. Like it's probably. I wonder if they do this elimination again this season.
Because it was so tough.
Well, no, I wonder if they will, if they'll like change the rules slightly or like do something to make it to where it's not as tough. Because it was rough.
There's so many conditions working against you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because, I mean,
you saw Davon and Kaylee were both like breaking.
well, she started crying.
Yeah.
Kaylee did.
Yeah, she did.
And
Her whole body was shaking like crazy.
Davon didn't even come out of the van afterwards.
Yeah. I can't imagine what they had to be feeling because I don't even know how you can focus after 10 or 15 minutes of dealing with those conditions and still your mind's having to try to find some sort of way to focus on this puzzle, which was a difficult look. I mean, none of them got it right.
No.
Yeah.
You know?
It was who got the most right.
Yeah.
Well, even at the end, they said Jozea and Davon got 6 wrong, and Cam and Kaylee got 3 wrong. But you saw how many pieces there were to that
There's
puzzle.
probably 30 or so.
That's insane.
Yeah, it reminded me a lot of the one elimination on Battle of the Seasons that they did a couple times where it's the one that Big Easy quit on and then Camilla like cussed him out and all that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
It's similar to that. I think this one was tougher though.
Yeah, definitely. Because the people that are going underwater are having to do something.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It wasn't just holding. So, again, I think, man, that this could have gone any way at all. And but again, Cam and Kaylee,
they pulled out victorious. And, man, we all just gave them a standing ovation when that happened.
yeah, all 3 of us clapped.
Yeah.
I was so excited.
We did not discuss that.
My guy Nelson, he said, all I want to do is just go over there and give Kaylee a hug.
Because he fancies her.
Like, even after they had been in the warming truck and changed clothes, Kaylee, she was still shivering a little bit, but her lips were purple like she was a walking dead woman.
Has Nelson been comfortable at any point this season?
I feel like
he's been on edge the entire season, whether it's been stuff with Kaylee, it's been stuff with Shane.
Well, when TJ announced that Jozea and Davon could choose the team they went up against the elimination, it cut to Shane and Nelson is like trying to swallow, and it almost looked difficult. He was sweating bullets.
I mean,
there.
yeah, he should have been. That was the logical choice with them.
So before they announce who won it, we go to the heating truck.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Where
space blankets and all that.
Yeah.
Cam is coming for Jozea.
I'm gonna tell you something, man. Confrontational Cam. Not afraid of it.
I'll say, man, as soon as they picked her, she was in game mode. Like, she was not smiling.
Like the flip of a switch.
She was not clapping. She was just there and was like,
okay, let's do this.
Yeah, like I'm not.
She's so impressive.
She was just like, I'm focusing on getting ready to go.
Let me have 60 seconds.
Okay. For what?
For Cam. Let me have 60 seconds for Cam. All
Hashtag
right?
60 seconds for Cam.
Okay, so she does it again. She keeps doing it. She keeps being thrown into these situations, these eliminations, and I don't want to hear about the level of competition. Jose, Natalie, I don't care.
This could have went anyway.
This could have went anyway. The conditions were terrible, and this entire challenge, she is leadership Cam over here, encouraging her partner, empowering her partner. Her voice elevated a little bit as it went on because it's getting tense, right?
45 minutes long.
Yeah. Okay. And the challenge is over. You don't know who's won yet. And the first thing she says to Natalie is, I don't care, win or lose.
Natalie?
Not Natalie, Kaylee, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I don't care, win or lose. I am so proud of you.
Yeah.
That is a leader.
That's amazing.
And then to come up to Jose and essentially
8 seconds.
Call him out. I may need 15 more. Call him out for his garbage that he couldn't even give an answer for.
Yeah, he didn't have an answer.
In the heating truck, while she has Kaylee in her lap, she's like rubbing Kaylee's back.
It honestly
trying
looked
to
like
keep
she
her
was
warm.
carrying Kaylee.
Here's the thing. She is fierce competition, a lethal tactician, a master negotiator, a fearless leader, and most of all, she's Queen Cam. She is top 5. She continues to validate the statement I made weeks ago. It's not just because she's been on the podcast. She is top 5. She continues to perform and just go all out in every avenue in this game.
I will say Kaylee had the harder part tonight, for sure.
But what if you got a partner in there that's not helping her keep a level head?
I agree.
Yeah.
Because I started to think maybe Cam should have been the one to go underwater.
But she's a stronger one, so she had to climb up to get her to go underneath to see all that. So,
but also, I mean, just the way that she has led her team the last couple weeks that we've seen, that's a queen if there ever was one. Queen's got to be a good leader.
She's real,
Got to
man.
lead your people to victory.
She's
and
real.
She's done that.
She's the youngest one on the show.
And it even confirms it more so that a guy like Johnny Bananas is afraid of her to where he's voting her in. They were one of the teams that
That's
put them in.
right.
Yeah.
And so she has left a mark on one of the greatest, maybe the greatest challenge competitor of all time, to where he's voting her in. And she's not afraid of it, man. She goes into these challenges and she's game face cam. She's ready and she does it. She hadn't.
And she was not planning on being called into elimination tonight. And when Jozea called her name out of nowhere over Shane, she was ready to go. And they still won.
Like our guy Tony Allen said at one time,
You can't milk a horse.
you stay ready so you don't got to get ready.
Yeah.
Right?
He had a lot of good quotes.
He did. All heart, grit, grind. Rest in peace.
He's not dead.
He's not, but
No.
the grind
He
is.
needs to come back.
It's coming back. It's coming back.
Maybe.
Yeah, I think it's back.
A new grind.
Yeah,
A
different.
new way.
Again, they
That was longer than 60 seconds for sure.
Well, I couldn't help it.
they're definitely tough, and I mean, Kaylee did her part for sure tonight.
yeah, Kaylee showed tonight that she's not dead weight on her team. It's not just Cam carrying.
No, she did her part for sure, and again, this elimination is probably the most even, no matter who goes in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's so many components to it. Like, it doesn't matter what team's going against another team. Like, this is going to level out. Like, in the other ones, they had to do equalizers or whatever. This is, like, honestly, like, I'm not trying to be hyperbolic, but it's, like, perfectly balanced to the point where you can put whatever two teams you need in this, and it's just going to be who gets it done better.
Yeah.
And who
You
gets it done faster.
You don't have to edit it in any way.
No, but I mean, you don't have to like add extra bands or
Yeah.
like make the harnesses shorter like Ashley and Hunter had last time or anything like that. So I kind of want to see what, again, we've only seen 3 eliminations, it's 4 eliminations, I don't know.
Feels like it's been more than that.
Well, we saw one from the Redemption House, which where Natalie and them
yeah.
lost again. So I don't know how many. I think it's only been 3 real eliminations.
So speaking of Redemption House, Jozea and Davon enter the Redemption House
Again.
once again. And so they're there for what? One night, one day?
The first night they're trying to explain stuff and like Tori's not having it.
Yeah, Tori is still mad at them. She says that it's their fault that she and Derek got voted into elimination. She's really blaming it on them, which, I mean, I understand she's upset because it was because of Jozea and Davon that Tori's plans with her alliance fell through. But Davon came back and she's like, it's not our fault that you went into elimination and ended up in the Redemption House. We weren't the ones that voted you in. And so I understand Jozea and Davon's side of that too. It was Tori's supposed alliances that kind of fell through. And
Yeah, she got screwed over by again Cara not voting the right way and them not voting the right way either. But they just went in and they were like trying to be like center of explaining everything that just happened, and like CT and Veronica were just kind of sitting there letting everything happen around them. And what I just realized, I was like, the Redemption House is going to get very toxic because you saw Tori like storm off, and then you have it's like CT and Veronica, and then Derek and Tori.
Mm-hmm.
Dory.
And then
That's it.
it's all of the fringe shows. Like all of the like outlier non-MTV shows are all in the Redemption House at this point. And I was like, this is going to be a very like toxic environment. CT's way too old to be dealing with this.
You couldn't even tolerate your guy Paulie reading the text from TJ.
I don't like him.
Let me ask you this. Which do you hate most? Emo or Paulie?
Okay, so I'm going to anyway,
He's not even going to answer.
the thing I don't like about Paulie is we've talked about I get what he's doing on the show. I'm talking, and again, we're fans. I'm stating specifically how I feel about him, what I know. Shane said he's a great guy. I don't know him.
We haven't seen it yet.
No,
Tell the people what's on your heart.
So there's a subreddit that's just called
You're gonna bring that up.
Yeah, it's just called I Have Sex, which is where it's all these like stories of people that are like clearly like going out of their way to like let you know like, hey, guess what? I had sex. And it'd be like you can be like on Reddit or Twitter and be like, I was playing Super Smash Bros. It's like, yeah, well, I was smashing my girlfriend last night, and they're cool. No one cares. And I feel like Paulie, like everything he says could be on that subreddit.
I played Super Smash Brothers the other night.
Yeah, well,
It's a great game.
cool.
Yeah. Finish your story. I like this. It's a good one.
Paulie, like everything he's like, we went back and read some of them. Like Cara can just be like on Twitter, oh, check out our recaps for like the raw details, and he'll be like, oh, you know, we like it raw, devil emoji. And we're like, okay, cool. And then she posted like a video of her like kickboxing, and he's like, I got another thing you can beat on whenever you get back later. And it's like wink face. And
You're not a fan of that.
I'm not like we get it. You guys are doing each other all the time, but it's so unnecessary, and I don't like his energy. I feel like I don't know him. I this is just what I'm picking up from him. I feel like he's someone who was picked on a lot growing up, and was not considered to be outgoing or to be like a ladies' man of any sorts. Right. And he got in really great shape or whatever, and he is like just going all in at this point, and just it's and
you
like,
think he's making up for lost time?
I think he is putting on a persona because he's insecure about a lot of things. And Cara is very insecure about a lot of things.
If you had the chance to sit down and have a coffee with Paulie, would you be open?
Yeah.
To having a conversation with.
Yeah, because again, like Shane said, he's a great guy.
Because for all we know, he listens to the podcast.
He might, but for all we know,
I really doubt it.
For all we know, right now, I just don't like the vibes he's putting out. And also, I will say, I am not unbiased when it comes to him, because the story on him coming out of Big Brother was that he's sexist and that he's like a womanizer and treats people like crap and all this stuff.
And arrogant.
Yeah, and he is fitting all of those bills so far.
Would you feel any better about him if, since they're having sex all the time, if while they were having sex they listened to Smashing Heads podcast?
You know, they probably listen.
I think that would make me feel worse.
I don't know. I'd be pretty proud of that.
They
Nope.
You know,
Nope.
they probably listen to like the soundtrack from like Saw 4. Like that wouldn't surprise me.
Or
That's
Repo
intense.
the Genetic Opera.
I feel like they just listen to like
something real mechanical.
Yeah, like literally, like they just find like somebody who has like a like a workshop, and they just record that, and they're like, that's what we need.
Yeah,
just wood being cut and somebody pounding like an anvil, and again, they have a very weird, very open, very
weird.
Here's the thing. I think he's very insecure in one way. I think Cara's very insecure in a completely other way, and they're using each other.
She's brokenhearted
to hide their insecurities. And I think and I've read a little bit on this. A lot of people speculate she's way more into him than he's into her,
which doesn't surprise you.
It doesn't surprise me because, again, going back to you think she's in love with Kyle.
Yep.
I feel like they're not even really dating.
I feel like they say they're in an open relationship.
Yeah, but I feel like they've hooked up a couple times, but
they've been together for like the last month and a half.
I know, but the thing is, they've also been doing like appearances together.
But they've been like living together, and like Natalie's been with him like every step of the way.
Yeah. Anyway, what I feel like is they may be hooking up occasionally, but I feel like with the overbearing social media innuendos,
so
I feel like that is a show that they're putting on because people are paying attention to the challenge and to their relationship on the challenge, and I feel like
I feel like
I feel like for her, she's probably still heartbroken and maybe a little lonely because of
drives his
Kyle.
ego.
And I feel like for him, he's taking advantage of it because she gets a lot of camera time. She is a very well-known
he
name.
was a fan of the show.
He was a fan of the show. This is his first season. He wants to come back, get more camera time. I feel like for him, it's for the fame. And I feel like for her, she's just trying to fill a Kyle-shaped void. But part of me really feels like they're not even really like a couple.
Well, if you guys wanted to know about Cara and Paulie's love life, you came to the right place because we just provided you loads of information.
Let me give you one more
Loads of opinions.
One more quick analogy of why I think it's weird.
Say what you mean.
I don't know if you guys that are listening have friends or people who are in relationships. Typically the ones that go out of their way to remind everyone how great their relationship is and how much fun they're having and how many times they're doing each other throughout the day. Those are typically the people who have very not good relationships with each other.
Not solid.
Yeah, the ones that have to like go out of the way to talk about, oh, look how much my husband loves me, or look how much whatever.
We don't post about each other very much at all.
No, and I'm fine with that. We know where we stand with each other, and like
I know that I'm the light of your world.
I wonder about you guys sometimes. I want to see it.
Other people do. Like
see.
his Instagram, I'm featured maybe like 4 times.
I don't post much except
He
about
doesn't
the
post.
podcast,
He doesn't
so.
post much at all.
Yeah,
But it's very rarely anything doing.
Can you give
anything to do with me?
because we know where we stand with each other. The people that I see that are like constantly making a big deal about, oh, look how much they love me, all this. It's the people who have issues.
I know people.
Yeah,
It's like they're over.
drives me crazy.
It's
Yes.
like they're overcompensating for something.
and they're trying to let the world see a side of them that they want to see, which is not there, which is what I think all this goes back to. I don't know. Again, this whole thing with them, it just has rubbed me the wrong way from the beginning, and
It may be because you and I are so completely opposite of that.
yeah, I would. That's
Because
true. That is true.
We spend like every waking second together.
It's not true.
It's mostly true.
I didn't see you that all day today until like 6 o'clock.
Unless you're at work, but even then, there are times when I just come to your office
That's
and
true.
just sit in your office.
Well, here's the thing. I'm a single guy, so I don't have anybody to,
Do you want us to change that?
Well, until it changes, maybe
We
I'd
can
like
change that.
Maybe I'd like to see how you guys are doing on Instagram or something. Like, can I get one sappy post this week from one of you?
We don't do sappy posts.
Just do it one time.
He'll post.
do it.
He'll
Thank you.
post once a year for my birthday. On my birthday, he'll post one picture of me or of a picture of the two of us together, and he'll say "Happy Birthday, Hannah."
That's not true. There's more than just that.
This year you went a little more in because we went on our first big boy trip together.
What are you talking
We
about?
flew.
I know big girl trips.
We
Yeah.
flew
We
halfway
had a
across
big
the
girl
country
trip.
together, and it was our first time doing that alone. And so
I'd like to go next time.
we had a lot of fun. Jake, you're not coming
You
with
really
us.
would. You would like Utah. It's awesome. man.
Yes,
Yeah, why
but
not?
not on my birthday trip.
Imagine if we did the podcast in Utah.
We're not doing the podcast.
Do we have a lot
in
of
Utah.
listeners in Utah?
I don't know.
Probably not.
I'll let you know.
All right.
You're not coming with us.
Maybe.
But
I can go anywhere if I want to.
What if you just booked your own separate vacation?
Well, I will say we did have another. We had another bedroom with 2 twin beds.
We did. We had a full like condo when it was like huge.
Yeah, I mean, you would have had your own bathroom and like 2 closets, your own TV.
Well, I'll
It
fly.
was a full kitchen.
I'll fly Southwest while you guys are paying the big bucks for Delta.
No, we had free flights.
Well,
We
on
did.
Delta.
Well, we always have so many points.
I don't.
We
fly.
travel a lot.
Well,
Utah's pretty far down on our list,
all right.
honestly.
Well, maybe maybe we can take a trip to Cali sometime. Cause
California's the number
We're-
one.
we're going in 2 months.
Yeah, we're going.
By
to
the
California.
way, our
We're going for Thanksgiving.
home state is like number 9 now.
Is it? I just was looking.
So you know what?
I think that's a good sign.
Maybe.
Speaking of sappy posts, my birthday, we were in Utah for my birthday. He
is
made
9.
a post. He did say happy birthday to my dinosaur loving wife, Hannah. I love you. That was it. It's not some
I don't think that was
some
it.
6-paragraph essay.
I don't have to prove anything to anybody.
We may or may not be losing a lot of people right now.
We went off on it. You know what? I think you started talking again.
You did.
Well, it just speaks to
You
my
started
ability.
talking about how you wanted to see us do more sappy posts, which we're not going to put that on the internet.
You're like a siren song
It
that just
just-
sucks us in.
It speaks to my ability to just be able to start a conversation. If you want to have a conversation, you come talk to me.
Okay,
All right, well, hey, guys,
Jake,
no.
once a week we'll take a selfie together.
I like it.
We'll write something nice and we'll
Yes.
just text it to you.
Great.
Okay,
Please.
guys, we haven't even talked about the Redemption House.
I have one
We
note
have.
for that.
No, listen, the double cross.
I have
That's what we haven't talked
one
about.
That's what I'm
note.
saying.
I have one note for it. Jozea and Davon get there. They're there for like less than 24 hours. They do the double cross. And Jozea and Davon are last to pull because they have been there the least amount of time. Everybody else pulls out the blank crosses. They get the double cross. So they get to go back into the main house that they just left. And that's going to be...
That's not how that... No.
Oh boy.
They get to go into an elimination.
That's right. They get to
Yeah.
go into elimination, but they get to choose another team to
and
go with them.
the other three go home.
Who are they going to choose? Paulie and Natalie,
Probably
for sure.
They've already beat Paulie and Natalie.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And that gives... If it works the same as it did last time, even if Paulie and Natalie lose, they just go back into redemption. You know it's not going to be Tori and Derek because they
Yeah.
went at each
It's
other.
not gonna be
No way.
Though,
CT,
is the
we
preview,
saw
yeah.
the preview for next week. CT said he's going to do whatever it takes,
I think
and it's going to be very entertaining.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be hilarious.
I hope so.
I'm excited about it.
Yeah, I don't know what he's gonna do or who they're gonna pick because again, Jose, he might pick the dumbest person to
He
pick.
may.
Yeah, because
He
we
may.
don't know at this point what he's thinking.
We don't know what he's going to do. He could choose Faith and Angela.
but Tony Montana himself, back at it again.
He is not Tony Montana.
No, but he is Jose.
He is Jose official.
Flores, right? That's
Yeah,
his last name.
He's
isn't
got it tattooed on his neck.
it? Yeah,
Yeah,
He does.
it's not a bad idea.
you gonna do it? You should get his name tattooed on your neck.
Flores.
Yeah, in the exact same font, same spot, everything.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's basically it for tonight. Again, I think the last 3 episodes have been the best 3 episodes of the season.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've been great.
It makes up for everything that I thought was slow to begin with.
In the first 3 episodes.
I never thought it was slow.
Anyway,
We know your thoughts.
yeah, it's been good. I'm excited to see what happens. We don't know when this season's gonna for sure end yet. We also don't know if there's gonna be a chance for stars yet. They haven't announced anything.
But I think we're still so early into this season that they're not going to announce it yet. I think if they are going to have one, it'll come a little bit later. Which I think I said that last
We probably
week.
have about 2 more months left.
Yeah. I
Should be
think
fun.
I think there's still plenty of time
Yeah.
to announce a
I
chance
just
versus
haven't. I haven't
stars.
seen any. I have not seen anything about filming or anything.
Plenty of time left. Plenty of fun
Yeah.
left
Plenty
to be
of time.
had.
Plenty of time.
So let's get into tonight.
We did. We just talked about it.
Who smashed some heads?
Before we go,
Who got their head
Jose and
smashed?
Davon get the double cross. I did write eye roll.
Did you
Eye roll. I did roll my eyes when that happened.
It's pretty crazy that they got it again.
I think it's so stupid.
Yeah,
Well, they didn't get it the first time.
I know, but that they got the chance to go back in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's stupid that that Jose pulled that stupid move and then lost.
And then they were the last ones.
And then they were the last ones in the redemption house. And then they were the last ones to pull a double cross. And then they actually got the double cross. Just one big eye roll.
Well,
Just one of the eyes that rolls.
let's get into the superlatives for tonight.
I like it.
Who got their head smashed? I'll go first. No,
ahead.
actually, who smashed some heads? I'm going to do that first.
Go ahead.
Kaylee. That's my pick for tonight.
There you go.
Yeah.
Because she toughed it out. She helped Cam through it. Cam did, her part, but Kaylee was the one that had the harder end of it.
Mm-hmm.
And she gave it all. She didn't quit. She freaked out a couple times and almost seemed like she was going to lose it. But then she made it through. They ended up winning. I give it to her tonight. I mean, Cam was a big part of it, but I'm going to give it to
Kaylee.
Kaylee.
Kaylee absolutely did the
Yeah.
work tonight.
Yeah. So that's my pick.
Well, while you went with the Kaylee half of the team, I'm going with the Cam half.
That's fine.
After my speech
She was such a
on
leader.
her, listen, she didn't just she wasn't the one going underwater, right? She wasn't the one in the rough conditions, but
She didn't almost get hypothermia.
right, but she did lead her teammate through it. And she stood up for her teammate. She made it clear, I don't care if we lost. I'm proud of you. I'm happy to have stood by your side and went to battle with you. And then to go after the guy who put him in, to stand up for herself and her teammate. She's just great all around, and she continues to smash heads every time she goes into elimination.
So far, yeah.
She's a phenomenal leader.
She hasn't lost yet.
No.
All right, for me, who smashed some heads,
Yeah.
I say Tony and Bananas, because they laid low this episode. They weren't on anybody's radar. They voted for a team that got voted up for elimination, so they could have been chosen to go in, and nobody voted for them. They were the only team that you could vote for that got no votes.
Yeah, I mean, they laid low. I don't personally agree with that, just because they didn't do much.
Well,
they just didn't have much done back to them.
I am making a conscious effort to try not to, for these, choose from
I didn't want
from the challenges or eliminations.
I didn't want to, except that Kaylee just.
And I knew somebody was going to say Kaylee.
No, that's fine.
But yes, if I were choosing out of the whole episode, I would have said Kaylee.
Who got their head smashed?
Amanda.
For not.
And the Spice Girls
for not knowing
smashed
Spice
her
Girls.
head.
All right.
She wouldn't know what hit her if they did.
Exactly. What's that? What does that mean?
Not just tonight, but I think over the past couple of weeks, CT has been getting his head smashed because he hit a low point tonight where it felt like he kind of broke.
It's like a continuous
He's losing his mind
smashing.
dealing with those people.
His eyes are getting more Brad-like.
Yeah, and so I think CT has just been getting his head smashed over and over by the Veronica effect, and now it's just
Probably everybody in the Redemption House he's been living with.
yeah. So CT. That's
I put every Fringe show that is not an MTV show, because they are all in the Redemption House.
That's right.
Or gone.
That's right. They've either been sent home or they're in the Redemption House, about to be sent home.
No, yeah, they're all just in the Redemption House. Like, it literally, whenever Jozea and Davon came in, Angela and Faith are there, Paulie and Natalie are there.
And that was it.
Yeah. So everyone is already kicked out of the main house.
Yeah.
We know at least one, if not two of those teams are going home next week.
Yes.
For sure. And the other one may not make it back into the main house. Who knows?
it just kind of seemed like the writing was on the wall.
Yeah. Again, I'm still not on board with those necessarily. I know some of the cast, like Marie and Shane and them, said they think they're really great additions. Some of them for
Probably because it's been so entertaining.
maybe. I just, again,
Like, they have brought a lot of drama, a lot of something to watch.
I don't know. None of them have just performed great to me. I mean, Angela and Faith had some pretty good dailies, but I just, again, kind of going back to the Paulie thing, he's a lot of talk, but hasn't done anything yet. So we'll see if that happens.
Part of me kind of wishes that Jose and Davon would choose Faith and Angela to go back for the elimination to get back into the main house, because I kind of want Faith to see Kyle again.
I think they're going to pick Paulie and Natalie.
Yeah, I do too. But I think it would be funny
Because they're all Big Brother.
for Faith to come back and then Kyle have to face her.
I think they're going to stick with their Big Brother alliance and just keep them coming back in. And then worst case, if they lose, it looks like they go back to the Redemption House. So, but it does show next week there's another Purge challenge.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see what happens with
They're
that.
gonna fill that house
Because
up.
again, they're clearing out at least 4 from the house right now.
Yeah.
It's the Redemption House. So we'll see.
Having a lot of fun with it.
Yeah. Anything else before we get to the music for the week?
Nope.
Love you guys.
Okay.
Oh, Wes, my man Wes, my number one fan. I haven't heard anything
I
from
think
him.
talking about Wes, like Wes Bergman.
Oh no, Wesley.
Yeah.
I haven't heard anything from him
Big Timmer.
lately. He loves to text the guys.
He's been behind. He told us he's been behind.
His comments on the episodes. So hopefully he gets caught up and will let us know what he thinks of the last couple episodes that we've recorded.
I have a good time with the play-by-plays that he sends us. It's pretty fun.
It's a lot of fun because he gives no context.
So you would like for him to include you in these play-by-plays?
I would
right?
love that.
I don't want him to have
Especially
your number.
since the only reason he listens is for me.
Does he not have your number?
No.
Probably not, honestly.
We can get him your number. Is that okay? Are you okay with that?
No.
All right. Sorry, Wes.
I had a guy at work ask for my number the other day.
Did you give it to him?
No,
You should have.
Because it was his last day working there because he got a new job.
Was it Justin?
No, Justin has my number. No, and he asked me, he's like, "Are we friends on Facebook?" And I was like, "Honestly, I don't know. I'm taking a break from Facebook right now." And he's like, "Oh, well,
That's a weird
then
question.
can I get your number?" And I was like, "Actually, I don't give my number out to men." And he was like, "Oh, really?" And I was like, "Yeah, just for my marriage, I don't."
Well, I give my number to any woman that is within earshot. I don't
Or
even
man.
ask.
Oh,
Anybody.
I believe it. You probably airdrop it.
Is that the new thing? Like, is that the new pickup line? Are we friends on Facebook?
That should be your new line.
I'm not using that
You should.
ever.
I felt really bad about it, but I was
I just
like,
walk around the grocery store yelling out my phone number over and over again
I could.
until somebody calls me.
well, he I think he started feeling really weird, and I was like, no, it's not like a thing. It's just since I've gotten married, or really since we started dating, I just stopped giving my number out to anybody that's not a female.
I'm the opposite. Only female.
Exactly. Yeah. And I told him, I was like, it's just for us. So you know I'm not just handing my phone number out to men. I know I'm not just handing my phone number out
I'm just
to men.
lonely. I want anyone to call me that can hear my number.
Right. Right.
So it doesn't matter, what you identify as. Just call me and just tell me what you think about CT, and then we'll be okay.
Yeah. And Paulie and the word emo.
Yeah.
Those are your favorites.
Those are my three favorite things.
Those three things are your favorite things.
My music for the week.
Yeah.
I gotta start writing these down because I lose track of what I've said and what I've thought about saying, and I've held some off and then I forget that if I said them or not. So this week, I know you'll like this one.
All right.
Boys Night Out.
Yeah.
Make Yourself Sick.
Yeah.
That's a good album. Still
Yeah.
good. Top to bottom.
Great album.
It's just a fun one. It's a real fun one. The first song starts off. They got that part in the bridge where everyone's clapping along and doing
Yeah.
the gang vocals. It's good. It's a good time.
Well, and it's more.
Real quick.
All right.
I bought that CD and Say Anything Is a Real Boy the same day, and so I did that last week. So I figured we'd go back to back. So when I used to buy CDs at FYE, I guess, at the mall.
So for me, real solid rock album. You hate that word
Creed.
too.
No.
You hate that word too.
Creed.
Funeral for a Friend, Casually Dressed and Deep in Conversation.
Conversations.
It's just a solid, good listen.
They were kind of like on the fringe of heavier stuff. They had that guy that screamed most of the time.
It's a good album.
It's not
Still
bad.
listen to
We
it.
listened to it the other day, both of
Yeah.
us. We were playing Rocket League.
Yeah.
If you ever want to play Rocket League with us, let us know.
We'll shoot us a DM. We'll drop you our gamer tags.
Yeah.
I'm not allowed to play.
You don't want to play.
You've never asked.
I don't think that's true. I think I have asked you.
No, you've never asked me to play that.
Okay.
You normally just have her in the background so that we can still converse.
Yeah.
No, most of the time she just sits up here and watches Friends reruns
Okay.
Yeah, usually.
at our home, which our
No.
address is.
Shut up. No, when he plays other video games, anything other than Rocket League, he'll be like, "Hey, won't you come down here and watch?"
Some of those games are like movies.
Yeah, she's acting like whatever, but she loved Assassin's Creed Origins.
Never played any of those
I
games.
enjoyed that there were constant fast facts that popped up from ancient Egypt.
Did you make her watch you play the Uncharted games?
She
'Cause
watched
those are fun.
She watched
I only
part of them.
watched a little bit. I
Those
didn't
are
really
fun.
understand
Those are
the
great.
premise.
You're not a fan.
But the Assassin's Creed, the new one,
Origins. It's great, man. It really is.
that one was a lot of fun.
I'm
It
just-
made me wish that I could have played,
I'm just trying
but
to
I
get
had to sit on the couch and watch.
I'm trying to get the Spider-Man game this weekend.
Oh, is that out this week? I didn't realize
Well, I
that.
think it's already out, but I want to get it this
I
weekend
know
because I'm
the
too busy.
new Destiny came out today.
So
Okay, so video game of the week.
You haven't given us your high school listen of the week.
My high school listen of the week.
Or it's band of the week, right? That's my
Album of the week.
Album, okay.
Yeah. Mine is the Brothers album by the Black Keys.
Never was a fan of them.
Ooh.
I thought you were a fan of them.
Rodney really was. I thought they were fine, but I never really
one of my
listened to
all-time favorites. Top 5 forever.
them. Rodney loved that Thick Freakness CD or whatever.
I love every album they've ever put out. Love it.
I think we've given people some solid listening options this week.
Yeah, no one's ever told us if they've listened to it. No, the one guy reached out to me about Brand New. Yeah.
But you know what? We'll keep doing it because you never know.
Yeah, it's fine. I
Yeah.
got to start writing them down. But yeah, no interview this week. We're
interview.
taking a week off from that at least, and again, we'll announce the other ones as soon as we have some details finalized, scheduling and all that. But yeah, again, we appreciate you sticking with us, and this was a weird start to an episode.
I
But-
totally forgot about the beginning of the episode.
I'll take the blame. It's my fault.
I had
It's
already
fine.
forgotten about
I'm
it.
proud of my work.
Yeah, it was fine.
The moon shrinks at certain times of the day.
I'm sure. Yeah.
The IUD implantation you actually swallow.
I'm sure people will let us know if I should or should not host at any point at any time.
I think it was fine.
I think it was really funny.
So again, at Smashing Heads Podcast on Instagram, at Smashing Heads Podcast on Facebook, smashingheadspodcast@gmail.com if you want to email us, at Smashing Heads PC on Twitter.
PC stands for pretty cute.
Yeah, we're the most active on Twitter more than likely, and then probably Instagram after that. So again, if you want to follow us, see what we're up to, see when we announce new interviews, things like that.
Shoot us emails because we read them.
We do read 'em all.
Especially Paul's emails. He sends at least once a week. We really like staying in contact with him.
He just
He's a lot of fun.
went to New Orleans, and
New Orleans is wonderful. I really hope that he enjoyed some beignets from Cafe du Monde. Those are really good for brunch. They have fantastic lattes as well.
I've never been, so I can't speak on it.
Me
We need
neither.
to make a trip.
Oh, you want me to come on
Yeah,
a trip
I know.
I
now?
want you to come on a trip now.
All right.
I've been telling Zach for like 2 years. I really want us to go to
You
New
two
Orleans.
are the flip-floppingest.
I didn't say anything.
I love New Orleans. I think that's a good trip. Jake, what I don't want you to come on is
Anniversary
our
trips.
intimate anniversary and birthday trips.
Intimate, huh?
I don't want you involved in that. I don't want you anywhere near.
Huh.
You know, you could book a vacation and just kind of show up where we go.
All right, and then we could go ride bikes at Zion Park.
We didn't.
That's what we wanted. I wanted to do that.
That was like 5 hours away, but it's
We did go biking though.
We
Yeah.
should do that sometime.
It's
It
gonna
was
be
a lot of
beautiful.
fun.
Yeah, it's
it
really
was.
is.
Oh,
I seriously, you'd love it. Out
we're
there.
trying to make another trip
Well,
here in the next.
You guys
little
have
bit.
my number.
Do
You do.
I don't know. We may have to get that after this.
You text me a lot, and I don't respond back most
That's
times.
true. Good Lord, that's true.
But no talky Seth is even worse.
That is true. So yeah. Anyway, we'll see you next week.
Have a good night, everyone.
I don't know what that was.